How's everybody doing today? Hope you had a great weekend and the week's going good so far. Welcome to the Virtual Vascular Lab. My name's Bill Schroeder. I want to welcome our new subscribers. We've had several this week. And a special thanks to all our longtime subscribers. We like those comments. Please keep them coming. Well, been pretty busy. Had an interesting discussion this week and thought I would just do a quick case about a cerebral vascular duplex examination. Let's talk about the forgotten vessel. I'm going to set this up as a little quiz. Take a look at this spectral analysis from this vessel. What vessel is this spectral waveform from? This spectral analysis is actually from an external carotid artery. Now looking at that waveform, looks kind of like an ICA waveform, fairly low resistance, fair amount of diastolic flow, a bit unusual for an external. But look up in the image, note this branch coming off the external carotid artery. While an ICA branch is possible, extremely unusual. So if you have to bet if this is ICA or ECA, your bet would be external carotid artery. Always pay attention to the image. We'll quickly go through the right side, look at a spectral analysis from the proximal and the distal ICA. We see a cardiac arrhythmia, but basically pretty normal velocities. Common carotid looks good. We do see some disease in the internal. Another look at the disease in the internal carotid artery. However, when we put the color Doppler in there, we see pretty good filling. Certainly doesn't look to be a significant stenosis. And let's round it off with a spectrum from the proximal, mid, and distal ICA. We can see there, right where the disease is, peak systolic velocity of about 77 centimeters per second, end diastolic about 17. Fairly uniform waveform, certainly not a hemodynamically significant stenosis. But hold on, look at that color change in the external carotid artery. Boy, we're aliasing there. Is that a high velocity? Are we missing disease in the external carotid artery? Why should I get that big color change there? Not at all. You always have to remember Doppler information is angle dependent. And the reason that I have a much higher frequency shift there is I'm striking it at a much more acute angle. So for a given velocity, I have an increased frequency, but when I actually sample and angle correct, look at that velocity, about 90 centimeters per second. That's pretty darn normal for an external carotid artery. Remember, Doppler, angle dependent. Okay, I apologize. This is really less about the forgotten external carotid artery and more about a Doppler reminder. That angle of inclination that's necessary for Doppler interrogation is the #1 source of error that we see in duplex ultrasound. So always keep that in mind. I do have an interesting external carotid artery case coming up, but I'll save that for next time. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. If you need any Category 1 CME, please visit us at virtualveincenter.com. And if you would, just hit that like, subscribe button, and let us know what cases that you'd like to see. We'll try and get them up.